Whenever you see a celebrity, whether it's a TV or movie star, maybe a musician, get involved in some type of social or political issue, you can safely ignore them.
That is such great advice. And you know what? I'm going to take that advice as I watch Markiplier's video talking about guns.
Hey guys, I wanted to make a video that's a little out of the norm from what I usually do.
And we appreciate it very much, you making this video so professionally with your fucking bedhead. Unless bedhead is a new thing.
This is in relation to the Stoneman Douglas shootings. And first and foremost, I have to say that I'm incredibly proud of the way the kids have been handling themselves, how they've been demonstrating all across the country in the organization of marches and talks with people in political spheres.
Well, your fan base is mostly teenagers, and if logic serves me right, teenagers attend high schools, so that makes sense. So I'm just going to skip the rest of the part of him talking about the kids and his detailed background history on guns. But keep in mind, he knows the do's and don'ts of guns. His father taught him because he was in the military and he's an NRA member. So let's just remember that and continue.
I want to say that I don't think people should be able to access assault rifles. There's no beating around the bush. There's no kidding about it. There's no exaggerations. Assault rifles exist solely to kill people.
Oh, shut up!
And you could say the same thing about all guns, but assault rifles especially, they don't have any purpose in hunting. They have a purpose in self-defense only to the point where they can kill multiple people with a lot of bullets in a very large magazine.
I knew it! I knew you AR-15s were killers. Go ahead, make your move.
2 weeks later.
Come on, do something. What are you afraid of? Look, here's a 60-round drum. Come on, kill somebody. Come on, fucking do it, you fucking coward.
Many months later.
It's almost like guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Wow, more great advice. Things aren't looking good for you, Mark. And just to get back on this whole purpose thing, I had no idea that each gun has a specific purpose. Do you have proof of that? I would like to see this proof. Have you met the makers themselves? Did they say that they're specifically made for a certain job? I doubt it very much.
And I know I'm going out on a limb and just saying this outright, but I'm 100% in the field that we need to ban assault rifles.
Now my question to you is, what good will that do? Let's just think about it, okay? Alright, there's a shooting. It involves assault rifles, alright? We need to ban assault rifles. Okay. Later down the line, there's another shooting. This one involves a pistol. Ban all pistols. Okay. Later down the line again, there's another shooting. This involves shotguns. Ban shotguns. Okay. Now, do you know what's happening here? Law-abiding citizens will be fucked because they won't be able to get the guns. Meanwhile, there are bad people out there. They won't try to get the guns, but they go to the store and be like, "Oh, you guys aren't selling guns? Let's see. There's got to be another way. Oh, I know. I'll go to a black market." Do you understand what's going on here? The more you try to, take guns away from law-abiding citizens, the more chaos it's going to produce.
And I know that people will say that gun control laws are not the thing that can change this, or at least they'll say that it's not the only thing that can change this. But in my mind, why not do everything in our power to try to protect our kids, or our people, or our fellow countrymen, or our neighbors?
Mark, you posted this video on February 22nd, 8 days after the fucking shooting. And you know what happened during the 8 days? There's been ongoing investigations. We gather up the details as to why this shooting happened. And guess what? We shouldn't be blaming a goddamn inanimate object. We obviously blame the shooter who we caught and will get punished severely. And more importantly, we should be blaming the goddamn law enforcement. For example, the sheriff at the school told his deputies to stand down, don't do anything as the shooting was happening. If it weren't for that move, people would be alive. Instead, 17 people have been mowed down and nothing has been done. So you should blame them for that. Not to mention that the shooter's history. Law enforcement has been told constantly that this kid was fucked up and should be watched at and not given any kind of weapon. But guess what? They didn't do it. 39 times the police went to his house. 39 times! And that apparently still gives him the right to carry a gun and let him do what he wants with it. Do you not see the problem here? You're blaming the gun, we should be blaming everything else that's been happening through the investigations. But no, you'd rather just go right for the gun because guns.
And in the avenue of trying to attack this from both sides, why don't we stop stigmatizing mental health? Why don't we stop treating it like some sort of problem that people just need to bear alone? That should be the first and foremost of everything, not just in these, but in general, because there's so many people out there suffering silently with mental illnesses that need help and are so afraid to go out and get it because of the way we treat it in this country.
Because it's the easiest scare tactic ever produced. You basically point at the mentally unstable and say, those guys are so dangerous, they should not be handling guns. Therefore, we gotta make sure they don't get it, period. And the truth is, people with mental illnesses are less likely to be suspects of gun-related incidents. However, they are more likely to be the victims of gun-related incidents. But we don't want to hear that part because it would just ruin the whole fucking narrative.
And also, why do we require more licensing and registration for cars than we do for guns?
This has got to be the stupidest analogy ever produced. You do realize that guns have a stricter setup than cars. For example, you own a car in one state, but you can travel it to another state, it's fine. But if you own a gun in one state, but you take it with you to another state, you could be in big trouble because different states have different rules when it comes to gun handling. The same thing goes with selling. If you want to sell your car, but you sell it to a different state, that's fine. But when you sell a gun from one state to another, that is considered a felony!
I know that people abide very closely by the Second Amendment, and me as a proud American, I'm very proud of our Constitution, but at the same time,
you were doing so well, but then you had to throw in a but!
There has to be some measure of control. I know that people want to be able to bear arms, and I respect that. I come from a family that was all about that, but
there's the but again!
that doesn't mean that we can't have some measure of control over these extremely dangerous tools.
Tools. The tools. Tools?
Mark, I'm going to say this in a calm, nicest way possible. Fuck you and your goddamn wordplay!
In the end, people will say that I'm spouting ignorance, or that I don't know what I'm talking about, or that I'm saying things that are wrong, and that is fine. But right now, the only thing that I can think of is, why shouldn't we be doing absolutely everything in our power to help?
Okay, well, let's hear it then.
Now is not the time for talk.
Alright then, Mark. Then my question to you is, what would you propose we do to have better gun control?
Now is not the time for empty promises. Now is the time to do something.
Still waiting for that answer.
For the people that are suffering most from this.
Where's the goddamn answer?
And I want to end this by saying that these kids that are out demonstrating, they are an inspiration.
There's obviously no answer. Why am I not surprised that he would not answer it? You know what? I'm getting really tired of this. You say you want to do something, and yet you say nothing about it. Alright, you want to fix gun control? Here, I got some ideas. 1, get rid of gun-free zones. This has got to be the stupidest thing ever done. All you're doing is just taking guns away from law-abiding citizens while criminals can creep around the neighborhood and do whatever the hell they can, and they can get away with it with a fucking gun. Number 2, punish law enforcement, especially the ones that make these stupid rules like standing down or not following regulations when it comes to background checks. They fucked up and they should be punished. Number 3, if teachers want to be armed or get the training to be armed and protect not only the students but themselves and the rest of the faculty to make it a safer school, let them. Just let them have it. There, I gave you my solutions. Was that so fucking hard, Mark? You can do it too, but you won't do it. All you want to do is just bitch.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I spotted several big mistakes.
But how did
You know what? Let's watch my favorite part again, shall we?
Assault rifles exist solely to kill people. They don't have any purpose in hunting. They have a purpose in self-defense only to the point where they can kill multiple people with a lot of bullets in a very large magazine.
Mr. Strawman, give me a break. Just shut your pie hole, for goodness sake. Are you just stupid, or have you been drinking? No one is convinced by this, what were you thinking? Strawman, I can't stand it when you spew it over and over again. How much can a person take? Mr. Strawman, give me a break.